deliver his keynote, Unlocking Material Recycling, a Key to Circular Value Chains. Hi, stage is yours.
Hello, everybody. Well, my name is Nano. I'm from Argentina. And 6 years ago, we had a vision. We wanted to do something about plastic waste. And, you know, as we heard a couple of times here today, there is a lot of greenwashing, there is a lot of foggy point of view on what is recycling, what do people do with recycle, and mainly with plastic. So we believe that when we get a bottle of plastic, a bottle of water, and we put it on the bin, someone is going to come and recycle and have another bottle and so on and so on. Well, that doesn't happen actually. So what we have, if this works, there you go. So these numbers are actually a little bit old. It's more plastic that we're creating, and the plastic industry is growing every year. So it's basically 15, now it's 18 to 20% of plastic is being recycled. That is our bottles. And you know that the bottles of water have 3 kinds of plastic, right? You have the body, that is PET, plastic number 1. Then you have the cup, that is HDPE. And then you have the label. The label is several plastics all together, and that nobody recycles. So we recycle. We started with that part. We started with the part that nobody recycles. So we start transforming all types of plastic, all types, into useful, safe, and beautiful panels. We start with the people, and this is something that I heard from our speaker from Deep Sea. It has to be from the people. It has to be the community. It has to be the connection that we have. If not, nothing is going to work. If we don't commit the people to be part of the solution, any solution that we apply doesn't work. So this is our model. We collect from the community. We sort. We have the logistics. We manufacture. And we process the plastic waste. And another thing that I heard today is like how that little word waste, right? Because if you get your garbage and you throw it in the garbage bin and then somebody pick it up, mix with other garbage, you have waste, you have plastic waste. Now, if you get in your house and you separate your waste, you clean your garbage and you put it in a separated bin, on a separated bag, you don't have waste, you have a product. And then you can collect it, and then you can process it. And then you are not into the loss of management of waste. So this is mainly what we do. We collect masks. We collect now 34 kinds of plastic. And all this is beautiful. And you might ask, so Nano, what are you doing here in Green Industry Summit? So what we do is panels. It's 2 meters, 40 by 1 meter, 20 panels. You can see those panels in the wall there. And those panels are made 100% of waste. There is no water used. There is no added glue. Anything is added to those panels. And those panels are 100% recyclable. So in that booth, you have, for example, our panels on one side, and the other one is printed PP. We can take that booth, recycle everything of that booth, and make another booth next time. And this is why we're here. If we talk about green industries, we have to talk about materials. We have to talk about construction. We have to talk about replace all construction materials for new construction materials. And every single industry has their challenges. For example, you were talking about today you were talking about the cement industry, they were talking about the sand. This is the raw material of our materials is waste. And we're creating a lot of it. It's super easy to get. And we're not running out of it. Actually, we're having more and more every day. So this is what we can create with our products. Our different products have different finishings, because we understand that in order for people to use recycled materials, they have to be beautiful, they have to be safe, but also we have to find an industry that can use it. And in order to use it, it has to be a standard material that you can buy 100, and it's going to be the same. So these materials that you see here are materials that we do all the time. We work on circularity, and the circularity is also for temporary structures, like, for example, booths. We use booths. We make our booth for our events. We use it for 1, 2, 3 days, and then we have to throw it away. When we use MDF, when we use wood, that goes to the garbage. In this case, we can use all these materials and use it again. We can make roofing. We work with social housing as well. So not only is about the circularity, but it's also what we give back to society. And this is why our name is Plastic People, because it's about the plastic, but it's also about the people. And we engage the people in the beginning on how we clean our waste, how we protect our waste from not being thrown or burned, but we also have to give back. And those materials are the ones that allow us to give back. We build social housing in the Mekong, and they are using our rooftops. And the funny part of our rooftops is that the best use of our rooftops is for chicken farms. And we didn't know, and we didn't understand why. And we were talking with the farmers, and they were like, when it rains, and it's a thunderstorm, the metal roofing makes so much noise that chicken die of heart attacks. They do. It's incredible. And this one doesn't make so much noise, so the chicken don't care, and they keep alive. So we are actually saving money from the chicken farmer. It's incredible. So the idea of the circularity is we give you the materials, we sell you the materials, then you use it, and it can be used for construction, it can be used for casting, for columns and ceilings in construction, used instead of plywood. And then we can get it back, we recycle, and then we give you back that panel that you gave us for a fraction of the cost, because you are giving me already the material. So what we have only is the process cost. And this is what we want to do in the construction industry, that they are using so much plywood, is stop using wood-based materials and start using waste-based materials that can be recycled over and over and over and over again. Our materials, we did some tests and we got bored after we recycled 30 times. And the physical properties of the materials after the 30th time are even better than in the first 5 times of recycling. So because we work on a way that is not super high temperatures, the polymer, the molecule of the polymer is more resistant and can be recycled more and more times. So that is actually what we start working with the industry is you buy our panels, you cut it, you process, you build whatever you need to build, and then all the scrap, all the cuts off, even the old construction, you can send it back, and we make it again, and you can take it for a fraction of the price. We build these kind of houses. It's funny, the design is decided by the owner of the house, but we build the whole house made of waste. And the best part of this, and this is why we open Plastic People, It's like we tell the people to pay for their houses in waste. You want a house? Give me a ton of waste. Pay it little by little, and we give you the house. In Plastic People, what we do is we found a way to use plastic as a currency. So people can send us the plastic. We can collect plastic from the community and then use it to build furniture or to build social housing, to build things for the community. So before, in Vietnam, they used to wait for the lady that was collecting the plastics to sell the plastics to them, right? And make 1,000, 2,000 per kilo, something like that. Now, that plastic can go to us. The value is higher. And you can send, for example, desktops and chairs for a school in the middle of Vietnam for free. Because this is why we get your plastic, we make our business, but we give back to the community for free. And this is why we started this. Of course, it's a business and we need to make money. Everybody needs to make money. But for example, this is Pizza for P in Cambodia. This is our material in all the facade on top and on the bottom as well. They use 7.8 tons of plastic. Imagine that a cubic meter is around 48 kilos. Imagine how many cubic meters is that. And they use it all in their restaurant, inside and outside. So the best idea of this is like they get tired of that. They want to build another restaurant. They give me the 7.8 tons. I rebuild the materials and they can change the design if they want. Because they can make again another restaurant with 7.8 tons of materials. And the cost is less than 50%. This is an example, actually. This is Run Cafe that it was open in District 7, beside the Crescent Mall. You know how coffee shops work here. They build a beautiful coffee shop, they have it for a couple of years, they close it, they move on. And that is something that works with them. They send us all back, all the 800 kilos that they use for this. They send it all back to us. We reprocess, and then they want to use another, in another coffee shop, like for example on the tables that you see there, is exactly the same material. So we can use this material to make the tables for the next coffee shop. And they are saving money. And the cuts off and everything, you can send it back to us and we can recycle. So it's actually 0% waste. Many people here work in construction. You know that in construction, one of the main problems is the plastic waste created in the construction site. All that waste, we can take it. Because it doesn't matter if it's clean or not. It doesn't matter, if it's not clean, but with dirt, we can take it. If it doesn't matter, it has to be only one kind of plastic, we can take mixed plastics. It doesn't matter if it's printed, for example, like here. It doesn't matter. We can process as well. So that sign that you see of NordCham is going to be recycled as well. So everything that you see, even the coasters that you have under the bottles is our materials, 100% made of waste. And one thing that we can do is we can tell you that this waste is safe. Because the first thing that comes to your head when you say this is 100% waste is like, it's waste. What am I doing touching it? Because we have traceability, and this is something really, really important, and it's really important here in Vietnam. On these 800 kilos or the 7.8 tons of waste that we use for Pizza for P, we know exactly where every single kilo comes from. So we can tell you if that material is safe or is not safe. If it's not safe, we can use it for outdoors on flooring, or can use it for rooftops of warehouses. And if it's safe, we can use it for anything in-house, in our houses. This is for Jeff 2024. We work with the in the French pavilion. They made it 100% with our materials. They did it 100% in 2023. They send us back the materials, we reprocess the materials, and then they use it for 2024. And then we work with the organizer of Jefe to use it in the event. Therefore, all the tables, the seats that they were around, we can reuse it again and again. That is our aim. And this is the best message. Let's build together. We're a small company. And I know that a lot of people don't know about us. But this is the message. This is the community. This is the network that we have to create. If we start using these materials, and even if it's mine or any other material that is recycled, is when we start changing the mentality. We heard a lot about sustainability. We heard a lot about recycling. There is a lot of things said, but there are not many things clear in these subjects. What is sustainability? What is recycling? What are we doing with our waste? We heard stories that companies, there are waste management managers, that they take all the plastic, and when you ask, what do you do with the plastic? They don't ask. We take care of it. Sounds like a mafia movie, right? We take care of it. We make it disappear. Don't worry. and it happens a lot. It happens a lot. And when you are digging in, it gets actually, they get pissed. I told you, don't ask. This is something that we want to give, is transparency, is clarity, that you know where your plastic goes, that you know that if you're separating at home and you send us the plastic, and we make, with that plastic, we make a table that is exported to US or Europe, you're part of it. And that's empowering. Because if we separate, many people come from Europe, and in many countries you separate at home, and you have like 3, 5, 7, I don't know, many bins. But where does it go? That is the main question. Where does my waste go? How is it treated? And this is the answers that we bring. Because in plastic, people were quite clear. These go here. We make sustainable products. We make sustainable restaurants, coffee shop, houses. But we need to build together. We need to make it together. That's our main thing with the community. And this is how we collect most of our plastic. I mean, we can say, and I know that it's going to be exaggerated, it's going to sound exaggerated. I'm Argentinian, we are exaggerated. We are always going to be exaggerated, but we're the only company, at least in Vietnam, and I can say worldwide, that we take care from the house to the final product and process 34 kinds of plastics, and we don't add any kind of additive or glue or anything in the process, and we don't use water. But in order to be able to do that, we need the community, we need the people, we need the work at home. And this is what we get from houses, from companies, from factories, from industrial parks, from schools. This is how we change things. We change things from inside. And when I was hearing the people from industrial parks, when they get to the subject of waste, it's complicated. And I know that it's complicated, mainly in an industrial park. But we are here as an answer to all these questions on how to treat plastic waste. So, this is who we are. This is what we do. I hope that you can see our materials in that wall. And luckily, thanks to our partners, we work with several partners. We were talking with construction partners, big construction partners, and 50 Visuals that is doing several events with our materials to make mainly the events and the exhibitions, sustainable. You can build it all, break it down, and use it again next time. This is what we do. Thank you. And I said time.
Please stay
have
here with
5
me.
minutes.
And thank you so much for this story and for really showing us what inspiration looks like, also what innovation looks like. So one message that stayed with me is turning plastic into a currency, and I think that's really brilliant. Thank you so much. To express our appreciation, I'd like to invite Dale Nottingham to the stage. Thank you.
Oh, look, my own material.
Thank you so much. Thank you.